everyone, so today I have another little declutter video, and I just kind of do these every so often. I kind of randomly go through my collection, not even expecting to declutter anything, and then I find a bunch of products that I find that I either never really use or that are dupes for other products already in my collection. So I do have a good amount of products here. And I will also have my past declutter videos linked down below in the description box if you're interested in watching some of those. So obviously in this video, I'm not actually going through my drawers with you. These are just a few products I picked out on my own, not really expecting to declutter anything, but then I found a few products. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So the first one is actually an eyeshadow palette, and my eyeshadow palette collection is probably like the thing I struggle with the most. It's the category that is like most intriguing to me and that I want to buy more and more of because there's just so many options out there. I mean, there's so many options for everything. But anyways, I did choose to declutter this BH Cosmetics and Carly Bible palette. This is probably one of the oldest palettes in my collection. And I do really love this palette. It's really good quality, especially for BH Cosmetics because it's so inexpensive, but it's not available anymore. And I really liked these highlighters down the bottom, but again, I just find that I don't really dip into them ever because I kind of go into an eyeshadow palette for eyeshadows, not necessarily for highlighters. So that's just another reason I'm gonna declutter this. And also, I haven't used this probably in a few years, so I did get some really good use out of it, like when I first got it and when it was probably one of the only eyeshadow palettes in my collection. But yeah, I think this has run its course in my collection, and I think it's just super old, and I have eyeshadow shades like this already in my collection in other palettes or in some of my singles as well. So I just feel like I'm never really gonna get much use out of this, so I'm just gonna declutter it. And then another little single eyeshadow I have is this ColourPop Super Shock shadow in the shade Peekaboo. So this is, as we know, ColourPop Super Shocks dry out super quickly, so it's kind of dried out. I mean, I could make it work if I wanted to, but this is just a really natural sort of lid topper type of shade. It's not even really that glittery. It just gives a really nice sheen to the lids, so it's really perfect for every day. But I tend not to wear those colors because I like to do sort of a full eyeshadow look most days, or if I'm putting on eyeshadow. So I feel like I'm just not getting enough use out of this, and I feel like I also have just eyeshadows in my eyeshadow palettes that are pretty similar to this and give a similar effect. So I find that this is just going to waste in my collection, and it's also a little bit dried out, so I'm less likely to use it at all because it is a little bit dried out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and declutter this one as well. Then I also have another eyeshadow palette here. So I did get rid of a couple of eyeshadow palettes, which I'm really happy about. This is the Huda Beauty Topaz Obsessions, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with this palette. As you can see, it looks pretty much brand new. I think I've mostly only swatched this. I don't even think I put this on my eyes, but I really wanted to get more use out of this and actually use it. But I figured I just have so many warm tone palettes in my collection that I tend to reach for over this for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because this is so little and tiny. I just tend to reach for other palettes. It's also one of the older palettes in my collection, so I've had it for a while. And the fact that I've had it for so long and never even put it on my eyes is kind of ridiculous. So I'm just gonna get rid of this because I feel like I'm not going to reach for it as much as I should, and I just have other eyeshadows that are pretty similar to this in my collection. I mean, I could find dupes for pretty much every one of these shades already in my collection. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and declutter this, even though I am kind of sad about this, but I know that I have similar shades in my collection and I don't need more warm tones. So another product that I am going to declutter is a little mini of a Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector. This is in the shade Opal, and I just find that it is a little bit too deep for my skin tone. It's right on the edge of being like sort of working for me, maybe if I was a little bit more tan in the summertime, but also in the winter it definitely wouldn't work for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. I have other highlighters I like a lot more than this and I can use all year round. So this just didn't work for my skin tone, but it is a really beautiful highlighter. So hopefully I can give this to someone who will get more use out of it than I ever will. And then I also decided to declutter a little highlighting palette. This is from ColourPop. It's the Nude Endo palette. And I really love ColourPop's highlighter formula. They have a really beautiful formula and I have loved them for a really long time, but I just find that I never reach for this palette. I have singles of some of their highlighters that I like a lot more than this, and also in this palette I don't reach for these 3 bottom shades. I pretty much only use these top 3 shades because those are really the only ones that work for my skin tone, but I find that, again, I have other ColourPop highlighters in my collection that I'm more likely to reach for over this. And again, some of these don't work for my skin tone, so I'm just going to get rid of this because I feel like it's just taking up space in my collection and I haven't reached for it in a really long time. And then I have a few lip products, and lip products I find are kind of the easiest to get rid of just because I have so many of them. So if I actually go through and swatch all of my lip products, I can find a bunch that are the same exact color. So the first one is from Bite Beauty, and this is a lip gloss. This is in the shade Whip, but I don't know what exactly. These are the Amuse Bouche Liquefied Lip. So these are a really, really pigmented gloss. I guess I will swatch it for you guys just for fun. But so they're so pigmented, almost like a liquid lipstick, but obviously it's a gloss formula. So I tend not to reach for those kinds of formulas. And also I've had this for a while and I've never reached for it even once. And also I have lip glosses in my collection that look pretty much exactly the same as this. So I am just going to go ahead and declutter it because I know I'm not going to get much use out of it. And then another lip gloss that we have here is from Wet n Wild. This is in the shade Send Nudes, and these are really popular, but I don't know what it is. I just don't reach for them. I think because it's also that kind of more pigmented formula, even though you can sheer them out a little bit. But also I feel like I have shades like this in my collection that are pretty much the same, and also Wet n Wild is not cruelty free anymore, so that's another reason I just want to get it out of my collection. But even those 2 lip glosses right there look pretty similar, so as you can see, I do have some lip products in my collection that are pretty much exactly the same, so I'm just going to get rid of those 2 for that reason. And next I have a couple of my Physicians Formula, the Healthy Lips, and I had 5 of these, but I'm decluttering 2 of them just because I literally went through my collection and swatched every single one of my lipsticks, and I have shades that are pretty much exactly the same as these. So one of these is in the shade Bear With Me, and these are really beautiful liquid lipsticks. They're probably my favorite liquid lipstick formula, which is really sad because Physicians Formula is no longer cruelty free, so I won't be repurchasing any of these, but I do still have 3 of them in my collection. And the other one is in the shade Coral Minerals, so it's a little bit more of a corally color. But yeah, it's kind of sad that I'm getting rid of these, but again, I have products that are the exact same color in my collection, so I'm not too disappointed about it. And then I have a couple of ColourPop liquid lipsticks. So also I find that it's easier for me to get rid of liquid lipsticks just because I don't reach for them as much. I prefer just to use a bullet lipstick or even just a gloss. So these 2 are both the ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip formula, and I have the shade Wish, which was a collaboration with Delilah, and I also have the shade Magic Wand. So again, there's nothing wrong with these. I do really like the formula of them for a liquid lipstick, and again, they're that more satin finish, so they are pretty comfortable on the lips, and they're also really pretty shades. But again, I feel like I just have shades like this in my collection, and I feel like I just don't reach for these, especially because they're that liquid lipstick formula. So I just have never really reached for these, so I am going to declutter them and give them a better home. And then the last 2 lip products are just a color that didn't work for me. So one of them is the Sephora Lip Stories lipstick in the shade Brunch Date. So this is like a really pretty more orangey, peachy nude color, and it is a really beautiful color, and I love the way it looks when I swatch it. But for some reason on my lips, it just kind of makes me look dead. I feel like peachy lipsticks don't look good on me, so I'm just never gonna wear it. Obviously, I did try it a couple times to see the shade, but yeah, I feel like it just doesn't look good on me at all. And then the other product is a lip liner. This is from Flower Beauty, and this one is in the shade Nude. So as you can see, it is a pretty nude color, and compared to that lipstick, these two actually go really well together if you like that sort of peachy lip. But I just find that, again, this is really nude, so it doesn't really give that definition to the lips that I like in a lip liner. And again, this is that peachy color that kind of just makes me look dead, and I really just don't like the shade of either of these because they're pretty similar. So I am just gonna go ahead and get rid of these just because I will never reach for them because they don't look good on me. So yeah, that is it for all of the products that I decided to declutter. So I did declutter a good amount of products, I feel like, and I thought I really didn't have anything else I wanted to declutter, but as I go through my collection and really not really try out, because I have tried all of the products in my collection, but as I use them more and more, I figure out what I like and what I don't like so much. So I find that it helps to declutter products kind of as I put them in project pans or shop my stashes. And that's another reason why I love to do the shop my stash type videos, because it helps me really go through my collection and figure out what I really like. But anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you like these type of declutter videos or what other types of videos you would like to see from me. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I do post new videos 3 to 4 times a week, so if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified every time I post. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.